Hello, mighty companion. This is Earl Purdy, Earl Raj Purdy, and I want to welcome you to Facebook Live, Hardcore Course in Miracles. I'm doing Hardcore Course in Miracles, and we are going to talk about, are you ready to invest in your peace? Aren't you ready to have peace? Aren't you tired of chaos in some area of your life? Aren't you tired of not having happiness and peace in some area of your life right now? Are you ready to get down? Are you ready to invest in reality? Are you ready to invest in love? Well, stick around and watch this presentation. Hardcore Course in Miracles. Hello, mighty companion. Right here on Facebook Live. We're going to start out with our theme song, We Are One by Brother John Christmas at johnchristmas.com. And we're going to use that to bring us in to hear this powerful, powerful lesson and message that's going to be delivered through me in this presentation. I'm Earl Purdy. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. Wow. I treasure our time together. Here we go. Breathe.
There's a call for a God, I see it everywhere. Everybody's running scared, and everything is turning upside down. But the words I hear, they keep coming through from deep inside of me and you. It's telling us that love is who I am. You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one. Yeah, yeah, we are one. Now let's come together and understand that love was born inside of every man. He's waiting for us to choose love as ourselves. When you choose love, you know you choose me too. And everyone becomes a part of you. And then you will know that love is who I am. You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one. Yeah, yeah, we are one. Oh, we are one.
You don't need to believe the ideas. You don't need to believe the ideas. The ideas that I'm going to share with you from A Course in Miracles, you need not believe the ideas. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that you need not accept the ideas. What did I say? You need not accept the ideas. You need not even welcome the ideas. You don't have to welcome the ideas that I'm about to give to you. You don't have to welcome the ideas in A Course in Miracles. Some of the ideas, you may actively resist some of the ideas. You might resist some of the ideas. Now listen to this.
You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it. Know that we are one. Oh, we are one. Yeah, we are one. Oh, we are one. I am you, and you are me.
I am you and you are me. I am you and you are me. I'm Earl Purdy. Thank you. Thank you for tuning into Hardcore Course in Miracles. Wow, in the 40 years that I've been teaching and learning A Course in Miracles, I have been blown away by the things that I have experienced as a result of remembering what the Course in Miracles is saying, and then remembering to look at things the way that the Course in Miracles is teaching me to look at things. So the key is what? I need to remember what the Course in Miracles is saying, and then I need to use the Course in Miracles interpretations of the way to look at whatever I'm going through. That's what you're learning. Well, I'm a messenger. I'm Earl Purdy, and I'm here to deliver a message that I didn't write. I didn't write A Course in Miracles, but for the last 40 years, I have been teaching and learning A Course in Miracles. It is my function. It is why I'm on this planet. It is my function to be a conduit for love as much as I possibly can, and do everything in my power to remove every block in my mind that keeps me from being loving and extending love to you. So I want to welcome my mighty companions. This is Hardcore Course in Miracles. This is especially geared toward people who are studying A Course in Miracles, even though everyone's welcome to listen because you might hear something that really helps you. But I'm really focusing in on Course in Miracles students. So I hope you have your Foundation for Inner Peace Course in Miracles book, the blue book, the Course in Miracles book, because we're going to be on page 220. We're going to be in a section called The Investment in Reality on page 220. The Investment in Reality. It's chapter 12, section 3, paragraph 1. Chapter 12, section 3, paragraph 1, page 220. Page 220 in the Course in Miracles text. The section is called The Investment in Reality. That's the same as saying the investment in love, the investment in happiness. I'm going to substitute the Course in Miracles definitions for some of the terms to help make it easier to hear. Now, remember, some of the ideas you may actively resist. You may actively resist some of the ideas. You may actively resist some of the ideas. Don't you know the Course says you may find some of the ideas hard to believe. Some of the ideas from A Course in Miracles may be hard to believe. Some of the ideas from A Course in Miracles may be hard to understand. Some of the ideas in the Course in Miracles may startle you. Does that mean that I may say something that startles you? Yeah, I may say some things from A Course in Miracles that startles you. You are not being asked to judge. What? You're not being asked to judge. You're not being called on to watch this in order to judge or to judge me or to judge the Course. You're not asked to judge the ideas, analyze the ideas at all. So how do you know what the Course in Miracles is true? How do you experience the love and the peace and the joy and the happiness that the Course in Miracles promises you? Well, I'm glad you asked. The way that you allow yourself to experience the love and the peace and the joy that the Course in Miracles promises you is to use the ideas. Use the ideas. Use the ideas. What? You have to use the ideas. What does that mean? You have to use the interpretations that the Course in Miracles is giving you. It's telling you how to look at things. It's giving you a new way of looking at things. But you have to use it whether you believe it or not. So the Course in Miracles says that the ideas will show you that they're true if you use the ideas. The ideas in A Course in Miracles will show you that they are true if you use the ideas. I am a teacher. That means I'm here to be a demonstrator as best as I possibly can. There are going to be some people out there that truly resonate to me as their teacher and their student. If you resonate with a teacher, then that's a clue that this might be the person that you should listen to and be open to. So I'm going to cover and begin the section in the Course in Miracles called the investment in reality, which is the same as saying the investment in love. Do you know that the Course in Miracles is working at the level of your mind? The Course in Miracles is about correcting our perception of things. What is the Course in Miracles about? The Course in Miracles is about correcting your perception of things so that you can experience more joy and more peace. So the Course in Miracles works at the level of perception. I'll say that again. If you're studying A Course in Miracles, you must become clear that the Course in Miracles is teaching you how to have loving perceptions, correct perceptions. The Course in Miracles is not a book on how to manifest things in the world. The Course in Miracles is not about how to manifest the job that you want. It's not about how to manifest the money that you want. It's not about how to manifest the special relationship that you want, or the career that you want, or the weight that you want. The Course in Miracles has one purpose. That purpose is forgiveness. That purpose is to teach you how to remove every block that keeps you from being happy, because happiness comes from within you. So I repeat, beep, beep, beep. Hear me now. If you're studying the Course in Miracles and you think that because studying the Course in Miracles it's going to get rid of your bills, that's not the purpose of studying the Course in Miracles. The purpose of studying the Course in Miracles is to achieve inner peace, inner fulfillment, correct perception, how to see things with love, how to see what's going on in your life from a place of peace. Are we clear about that? Are we clear about that? So why is it that the Course in Miracles is really, really concerned with your peace of mind? Well, the reason why the Course in Miracles is all about helping you achieve peace of mind is because the Course in Miracles teaches that when you have peace of mind, when your mind is peaceful, when you're not full of conflict, do you know that when you're not full of conflict and anger and fear, do you know what happens? Well, when you're not full of anger and conflict and fear, the Course in Miracles teaches that you can hear the voice of God in you. You can hear the voice of your Creator, your guidance, when you are not in fear, when you're not in conflict. You can hear your inner guidance. So what's the advantage of being able to hear your inner guidance? Your inner guidance will tell you what to do in every situation that you're in. What? You want God to tell you what to do when it comes to the situations that you're in and how you're seeing the situations and relationships in your life. You want love, which is God. Same thing. Love God. I'm going to interchange those two a lot because the Course in Miracles continually teaches that there's only love and fear. That God is love. The ego is fear. Your fearful thoughts. God is your loving thoughts. Don't make the Course in Miracles complicated. It's as complicated as you need it to be, or it's as simple as you need it to be. Are you with me? Are you with me? Okay. So we're gonna do the investment in reality. And do you know the Course in Miracles says, read me slowly. Do it slowly. So I'm not interested in how fast I cover the material. I'm here to deliver a message. That's what we're here to do. We want to hear it. I am the remembering coach. I call myself the divine remembering coach. And I teach through repetition and really helping you hear what the Course is saying. Now, the voice of the Course says in the very first paragraph, chapter 12, section 3, paragraph 1, in the Course in Miracles text says, I once asked you to sell all that you have and give to the poor and follow me. I don't know if many of you are familiar with the Bible. Within the Bible, it says that Jesus said, I want you to sell everything you have. I want you to give everything to the poor, and I want you to follow me. So if a person walked up to you on the street today and said to you, I want you to sell everything you have, I want you to give to the poor, and I want you to follow me. There are three things that I want you to do, young man or young woman. What I'd like you to do is sell everything you have, give it to the poor, and follow me. Now you kind of see, I wonder how that would go over in American society. You know what I mean? So the Course in Miracles then says, this is what I meant. This is what I meant. This is what I meant. So this is what Jesus meant by saying that. The Course in Miracles says that when Jesus said, "Sell everything you have," what did it say? Sell everything you have, give to the poor, and follow me. Okay. Well, what did that really mean? Well, the Course says this is what I meant. Do you know what I meant when I said, sell everything, give it to the poor, follow me? The Course says, I meant this. When you study A Course in Miracles, remember that the Course in Miracles is going to give you its own definitions, its own meanings of what it's talking about. So would you be willing not to make the mistake that many Course in Miracles students make when they think their job is for them to interpret what the Course in Miracles is saying? The Course in Miracles will describe itself. It says, if you have no investment in anything in this world, if you have no investment in anything in this world, what's going to happen if you have no investment in anything in this world? Well, if you have no investment in anything in this world, then you can teach the poor where their treasure is. You can teach poor people, you can teach those who are poor where their treasure is if you have no investment in anything in this world. If you have no investment in anything in this world. So what does the Course in Miracles say the world is? When it says have no investment in anything in this world, what does the Course in Miracles mean by that? Well, back in the workbook of the Course in Miracles, there's a section in the workbook that's called, What is the World? What is the world? And the Course in Miracles says, the world is false perception. The world is false perception. What is the world? The world is false perception. So what does that mean? Well, it means that when the Course in Miracles says, if you have no investment in anything in this world, it's saying if you have no investment in anything in this false perception. The Course in Miracles, do you know the Course in Miracles calls the world a false perception? So when it talks about your world, it's talking about false perception. It's talking about fearful perception. So it's talking about perception. If you have no investment in anything in this world means if you have no investment in anything in this false perception, the false perception of fear, if you have no investment in the false perception of guilt, if you have no investment in the false perception of sickness and poverty and anger, if you have no investment in the false perception of sadness and depression and fear. So when the Course in Miracles says, if you have no investment in anything in this world, it means if you have no investment in anything in a fearful, false perception, then you can teach the poor where their treasure is. I'll say it again. You have to hear what I'm saying. The Course in Miracles says, you can teach the poor where their treasure is if you don't have any investment in fear, if you don't have any investment in anger, guilt, and grievances and separation. If you don't have any investment in anger, guilt, fear, and separation in the world, in the false perception, do you know then that means you can teach the poor where their treasure is? Do you know that the Course in Miracles has its own definition of the poor? The Course in Miracles has its own definition. So when it says the poor, it has its own definition of the poor. So who are the poor? So when we hear poor, we think about people who don't have enough money, or people who don't have enough food to eat. The Course in Miracles, that is not the Course in Miracles definition of the poor. The Course in Miracles definition of the poor is, what does it say on the page? The poor are merely those who have invested wrongly. So a poor person is a person that's investing wrongly. A poor person is a person that's investing wrongly. So when the Course in Miracles says that you are poor, he's saying you are investing incorrectly. If you are investing in anger, if you are investing in grievances, if you are investing in lack, if you are investing in what is true, then you are poor. So someone who's poor is someone who's invested in something that is not loving, someone who's invested in something that's not peaceful. The poor are those who have invested wrongly. And do you know that those who have invested wrongly are poor indeed? So a person that's investing in anger, a person that's investing in separation, a person that's investing in grievances, a person that's investing in sickness, a person that's investing in attack, that's a poor person according to the Course in Miracles. So a poor person is a person who's full of anger, guilt, and grievances, and fear and judgment. That's who the Course in Miracles defines as the poor. Okay. So what is the next sentence? The next sentence says, because the poor are in need. Somebody that's poor is somebody that's in need. So it's given you to help people who are poor. It's given you to help people who are in need. Why? Why is it that you need to help people who are in need? Why is it that you need to help the poor? He said, well, because you are among them. You are among the poor. You are in the middle of the poor. You are among the poor. The poor are what? Those who have invested wrongly. So who are those that have invested wrongly? Those who are invested in separation, those who are invested in false perception, those who are invested in grievances, those who are invested in projection, those who are invested in depression, those who are invested in guilt. Those are the ones who the Course in Miracles calls poor. And then the Course in Miracles says, you know what, Earl, you are among them. You are among those who have invested wrongly. So what you should do, if you are among the poor, and it's given you to help the poor, who's the poor? Those who have invested wrongly. Who are the ones that's investing wrongly? The ones who are invested in fear, those who are invested in anger, racism, those who are invested in attack, those who are invested in being separate. Those are the ones that A Course in Miracles calls the poor. So what is it that you need to consider? What is it that you need to consider? Well, the Course says you need to consider how perfectly your lesson would be learned. So what should you do? I want you to consider how perfectly your lesson would be learned. What is it that you're supposed to be doing right now? Considering how perfectly your lesson would be learned if, okay, that's a big if. So you're going to learn your lesson. What lesson? The lesson of what to invest in. Remember, he said the poor are those who have invested wrongly. So the wealthy and the rich and the prosperous ones are those who are investing rightly, those who are investing correctly. So who are the ones who are investing correctly? Those who are investing in God, those who are investing in love, those who are investing in freedom, those who are investing in forgiveness, those who are investing in what's true, those who are investing in happiness, those who are investing in health, those who are investing in abundance, those who are investing in unity, those who are investing in spirit. Those are the ones that are the wealthy ones from A Course in Miracles perspective. So consider how perfectly your lesson, which is that you are surrounded by love, that you are love, that love is what you are. Consider how perfectly your lesson will be learned if what? If you're unwilling to share their poverty. In other words, I'm not going to share the perspective of someone who's full of anger, guilt, and grievances and attack. I am not going to share their poverty, because people who are full of judgment and anger and guilt and grievances, they are the poor. Why are they poor? They are poor because they are investing wrongly. Those who project and are angry and controlling and domineering and feeling separate, those people are poor. They are poor because they are investing in poverty. They are investing wrongly. So I want you to think about how well you would learn your lesson of abundance and joy and peace if you were unwilling to share their poverty. That means if you were unwilling to invest the way that they have invested. Because what is poverty? What is another word for poverty? From A Course in Miracles perspective, what is another word for poverty? Lack. Lack and poverty are the same thing. Wherever you feel like you're lacking, that is where you are experiencing your brand of poverty. If you think you're lacking in peace, if you think you're lacking in love, if you think you're lacking in abundance, if you think you're lacking in innocence, wherever you are experiencing lack, you could just as easily use the word poverty, because no one wants to be in poverty. So if you associate the word poverty with the word lack, your mind has already been programmed not to want lack. You've been telling yourself probably your whole physical life that you don't want lack. So when you start calling poverty lack, now, are you going to listen to me? Are you going to listen to me? Okay. When you start calling poverty lack, then your mind will automatically want to get rid of your poverty because your mind has already been conditioned not to want lack. Your mind has already been conditioned probably not to want lack. So if you call poverty lack, then you will begin to allow the poverty to be undone. There is but one lack. Okay, so what does that mean? It means there is only one thing that you're lacking. There is only one lack. Why is there only one lack? Why is there only one lack? Why is there only one thing lacking? Well, the reason why the Course in Miracles says there's only one thing lacking is because there is just one need. The truth is, we think we have many needs. You may think you have many needs. You may be able to give me a list of the things you think you need. But the Course in Miracles says what? How many needs do you have? According to A Course in Miracles, according to what's right in front of you, how many needs do you have? How many needs do you have? How many needs do you have? You have one need. Say that to yourself. I have one need. I have one need. I think I have a lot of needs. It looks like I have a lot of needs. It looks like other people have a lot of needs. It looks like people around the world have a lot of needs. It seems like there are needs upon needs upon needs. It looks like there's a need there. There's a need there. They have a need. I have a need. Everyone has a need. The Course in Miracles says there is only one need. There is only one lack. So there is only one need. What is that one need? What is that one need? That one need is real love. That one need is love. And love is also peace. So the one need is peace. The one need is peace. The one need is love. The one need is God. The one need is the need for that which created you. Your real need is for love. Love is abundance. Love is abundance. Love is peace. Love is health. Love is beyond any kind of fear. So how many needs do you have? You have one need. So here we go. Are you ready to go with me? Are you ready to take a trip? Let's take a trip. Let me say this again. Here we go. I'm going to say it again. Repetition. I once asked you to sell all you have and give to the poor and follow me. I once asked you to sell all you have and to give to the poor and follow me. This is what I meant. 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 If you have no investment in anything in this world, you can teach the poor where their treasure is. If you have no investment in anything in the fear, then you can teach the poor where their treasure is. If you have no investment in fear and guilt and anger, if you have no investment in the belief in sin, then you can teach the poor where their treasure is. You can teach the poor where their treasure is. The poor are merely those who have invested wrongly. If you have invested in fear and anger and lack and grievances and attack, then you are poor. You are poor. Those who have invested in their ego, they are poor. Those who invest in fear are poor. Those who invest in fear are poor. Because you are in need, because those who are poor are in need, it's given you to help them. You can help the poor. You can help those who are in pain and suffering, who have chosen wrongly, who are choosing for anger and guilt and grievances. Those who are choosing for anger, guilt, and grievances and fear, they are the poor. And they need your help. And you can help them. You are among them, so you can help the poor. So what should you consider? What should you consider? I want you to consider how perfectly your lesson would be learned if you were unwilling to share their poverty. Be unwilling to share the poverty of the poor. Don't be willing to be poor. Stop being willing to be poor. Stop being willing to be poor. Don't share their poverty. Don't share the poverty of the poor. Don't share the poverty of the poor. Be unwilling to share their poverty. Be unwilling to have their poverty, because poverty is lack. So be willing to share their lack. Be willing not to be in lack. Are you willing to not be in lack? Are you willing to not be in lack? Are you willing to not be in lack? Don't give me no flack. Don't give me no flack. Are you willing to not be in lack? Poverty is lack. There is one lack because there is one need. There is but one lack, since there is but one need. Because there's only one need, there's only one lack. Because there's only one need. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. I love A Course in Miracles. I'm so glad I decided 37 years ago that I would quit my regular job in the world and follow my calling to share the Course in Miracles, and trust that the Holy Spirit was going to provide and give me the correct perception and give me what I would need to stay. That's why I love doing what I do on a love offering basis, because that way it's a beautiful transaction. It's a beautiful sharing between us, because people give what they want to give. They do what they want to do. They share what they want to share with me. And I like it that way. I love it that way. Because the Course in Miracles teaches that if you will fulfill your function, if you will do what you were born to do, which is to be a messenger of love and truth on this planet, if you're willing to be happy, if you're willing to be shown how to be happy so that you can show the world that those who follow the truth and those who follow God are going to be happy, then you become a conduit. You are here to witness to the joy and the peace that comes to one who refuses to be in poverty, because you're no longer going to invest in anger, guilt, and grievances, and you most especially, you are no longer going to invest in victim consciousness. You are not a victim of the world you see. You are not a victim of the world you see. The way that you are experiencing your life right now is coming from your perception. It's coming from having invested wrongly, investing in the idea of being a victim, investing in the idea of being alone, or investing in the idea of not being loved, or investing in the idea that you are not enough. Those are investments that produce what the Course in Miracles calls poverty. So the Course in Miracles definition of poverty is far beyond the idea of not having enough money to live off of. Poverty is always investing your thoughts in the ego, thoughts of fear, thoughts of guilt, thoughts of lack. There's only one need, God. There's only one need, God. There's only one need, love. There's only one need. You need the universe. You need all that is. Those are all terms for God. Okay, that's so remember with the Course in Miracles, the key to the miracle is to remember what we are being told, because we haven't learned it if we don't remember it. If we haven't learned it, if we don't remember it. So I'm going to give you, do you know that I'm getting ready to cover a paragraph that's so misperceived by many Course in Miracles students? And I'm going to share it with you. It says, suppose a brother insists on having you do something you think you don't want to do. Suppose someone in your life is insisting that you do something that you don't want to do. Suppose somebody's trying to get you to do something you don't want to do. What do you do when somebody's trying to insist that you do something that you think you don't want to do? What do you do when someone's trying to get you to do something that you do not want to do? And that person's very insistence should tell you that they believe salvation lies in you doing something that you really don't want to do. Some people tell you that they really think their happiness depends on you doing something you don't want to do. Have you ever had anybody insist that their happiness depended on you doing something you didn't want to do, or you acting in a way that you didn't want to act? Have you had that experience? Well, the truth is, if you insist on refusing, in other words, if you experience a quick sense and a quick response of opposition, they've asked you to do something you really don't want to do. They think that you need to do it in order for you to be for them to be happy, and then you are insisting on refusing to do it, and then you feel a sense of opposition. Then that means you're believing that your happiness lies in not doing what they want you to do. They believe their happiness lies in you doing something they want you to do that you don't want to do. When a person believes that their happiness depends on you doing something you don't want to do, then if you insist on refusing, if you experience a quick response of opposition, the Course in Miracles says, well, you believing that your happiness or salvation lies in not doing what they want you to do. They believe their happiness lies in you doing what they want you to do that you don't want to do. You believe that not doing what they want you to do, that's going to also give you happiness. So you're basically making the same mistake that they are, and that makes their error real to both of you. So what does that mean? What does that mean? If you're in a situation, it looks like somebody's asking you to do something that you don't really want to do, and then you believe your happiness rests in not doing what they want you to do, then you are both making the same mistake of thinking that your happiness depends on something outside of yourself. So what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Well, the Course in Miracles says investment. What does investment mean? Investment, that's right, Victoria, I need to learn this too. Investment means insistence. So to invest in something is to insist on it. So whatever you are insisting on in your life, whatever you are insisting on in your life, that's what you are investing in. If you insist on being treated with love and respect, then you're investing in love and you are investing in love and respect in your life. If you insist on your happiness, if you insist on your peace, whatever you insist on is what you are investing in. I insist that I treat myself with more love and more compassion than ever before. I'm insisting on that for myself. So that's what I'm investing in. So whatever you insist on, that's what you're investing in. Insistence means investment. Investment equals insistence. So now, what you invest in, are you ready to hear this? What you invest in is always related to your notion of what's going to make you happy. What you invest in is always related to your notion of salvation, which is what's going to bring you peace. So whatever you insist on is what you think is going to bring you peace. In other words, let me just break it down in a kind of simple way. If I insist on people not playing music really loud, then that's because I think people not playing music very loud is going to give me peace. So whatever I insist on is always related to my notion of what's going to make me happy. The thing that I got to have, the deal breaker, so to speak, is always going to be the thing I think I've got to have in order to be happy, in order to be peaceful in. So do you know that everybody is investing in and insisting on whatever they think is going to bring them happiness and peace? That's what you see everybody around you doing. That's what you see every human being walking the street, driving cars. Every human being, they are insisting on certain things that they think is going to make them happy. Even a bank robber thinks that robbing the bank is going to make him happy. So that's why he is insisting on robbing the bank, because it's related to his notion of what he thinks is going to make him happy. If I have that money, then I'm going to be happy. So the bank robber is what? Investing in, is insisting on robbing the bank so that he can have what he thinks of as the money. So whatever you invest in is what you are insisting on in your life. What are you insisting on? What are you invested in? One of the main things that people are invested in is what? What is one of the main things that a person is in, that a lot of people are invested in? A lot of people are invested in the past. Do you know people are mostly invested in two things? Most people at this level of consciousness, they're invested in two things. People who are poor, people who are sad, people who don't love themselves, people who condemn themselves, people who condemn others, people who insist on guilt and grievances, people who believe they're sinful, people who believe they're not enough. The poor, the course says the poor. The poor are insisting on focusing in on the past or the future. So what are the two things that the poor are most invested in? What happened in the past and what's going to happen in the future. What happened to me in the past, I'm thinking about my childhood, I'm thinking about the last relationship, I'm thinking about what happened to me in the past, the pain or the fear that I went through in the past, and I'm also afraid or thinking about or constantly planning on what I think is going to happen in the future. So I'm investing in the past and I'm investing in the future if I'm poor. If I'm spiritually poor, if I'm poor in consciousness, if I'm poor the way the Course describes poor, it just means I'm a person that's always focused on the past and always focused on the future. I'm a person that's always focused on the past, which is what's gone. Past means gone. Past means gone. So a person that's constantly focused on the past is a person that's always focused on what's gone. A person that's focused on the future is a person that's always focused on what is not here. So the future means not yet. Whenever you're focused on the future, you're focused into what is not yet. It makes you poor because you're constantly focusing your attention on things that don't exist. When you're focused on the past and you're focused on the future, you're focusing on something that doesn't exist. So how can you create something out of something that doesn't exist? The past doesn't exist, so you can't create anything real out of the past. The future, it does not exist, so you can't create anything out of the future. So what do? How do I get in touch with my wealth? How do I get in touch with my abundance? Well, all of the answers, all of the abundance, all of the wealth that you want is right here, right now. Anything that's going to improve your life is something that's available to you right here, right now. So the question is, what is the question? The question is always twofold. Okay, so there's a twofold question. What is the twofold question? The twofold question is, what is to be saved? What is it that I need to save? What is it that I need to invest in? What is it that I need to put my attention in? What is it to be saved? First question is what? What is it that I need to save? What is it that I need to save? What is it that I need to save? What is important for me to save? It's almost like, your house is in the area that there's a big forest fire and they give you 15 minutes to get everything that you've got to get out of your house. what is it that you would save? What is it that you would insist on? What is it that you would invest in? What would be the first thing you would grab? What is it to be saved? And then the second question is, how can it be saved? What is it that I need to save, which is actually my peace? And how is it that I save my peace? Because the goal of the Course in Miracles is what? Peace. Peace. What is peace? What is peace? The Course in Miracles says peace is total fulfillment. Complete fulfillment is peace. That's a direct quote from A Course in Miracles. So when the Course in Miracles says that your goal should be peace, it's not talking about something dull. It's not talking about something boring when it says peace. It's talking about complete fulfillment, that a person at peace is a person in complete, total fulfillment. Total fulfillment is peace. Total fulfillment is peace. If I have peace in my relationship, I have total fulfillment in my relationship. If I have peace on my job, then I'm giving myself total fulfillment on my job. If I have peace with my family, I'm giving myself total fulfillment with my family. If I have peace with myself, I'm giving myself total fulfillment with myself. Peace equals complete fulfillment. So the Course in Miracles says the question is, what is to be saved and how can it be saved? What is it that you need to save and how can it be saved? So what is it that I need to save? I need to save my peace. I need to save love. I need to save my freedom. I need to save my perception of my abundance. I need to save forgiveness. How do I do that? How do I do that? Well, the way that I do that is I insist on it. I invest in it. I'm in a relationship. I'm going to insist that there be peace in my relationship with my partner. I'm going to insist that there be caring in that relationship with my friends and with my partner and with my family. I'm going to invest in the truth. I'm going to insist on the truth. I'm going to insist on practicing what the Course in Miracles is telling me that I need to practice in my day-to-day reality. I'm going to invest in love. I'm going to invest in God. I'm going to invest in peace. And remember what? What you insist on is what you invest in. And those who are poor are those who are investing wrongly. And those who are investing wrongly are those who are investing in anger, insisting on blaming, and insisting on seeing themselves as a victim, insisting on attacking, insisting on judging. The Course in Miracles calls those poor people. So a poor person could actually have $1 billion in money, but if they're invested in separation, guilt, and lack, then they are poor. And the person could have $5 to their name, but they're totally invested in God, in peace, and love, and truth, and they are wealthy. Because investing in those things, you're going to get that return. Your experience is going to give you back love and peace and joy. It's so beautiful. So I'm going to do a quick recap in a minute because remember, it's about remembering what we were told. I am a full-time teacher of A Course in Miracles, and I do it on a love offering basis, a donation basis. So if you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, I would truly be grateful for that. And you can do it on my website, www.earlpurdy.com. You can also use Venmo, you can use the Cash App, or you can use PayPal. My email address is earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. You can also use Zelle. I'm opening myself up to receive and to give. Also, if you would really like to take advantage of the fact that I've been teaching and learning this for 40 years and you're ready to invest in it and invest in your peace and invest in your joy, you're ready to get rid of some blocks or some things that are causing you fear or making you quote unquote poor, then would you consider having a clarity session with me? Would you consider having a clarity session with me? That's a one-on-one mentoring and counseling session with me so I can bring my 40 plus years of experience with the Course, with metaphysics, with New Thoughts, and also I've been an astrologer and a numerologist for over 40 years. And I can bring all of my skills, all of my experience get out of the way to also want your higher self and my higher self to communicate to you so that we can erase whatever your poverty is in whatever area that you're feeling some form of lack. It's called a clarity session. Go to my website, look on the clarity session. It will give you details about my services, and you can self-book an appointment right from my website. And also I have hundreds and hundreds of free online videos of my classes on YouTube and on Facebook on the Earl Purdy page. So regardless of your financial situation, you can avail yourself of the things that I teach. So no matter what type of financial perception you're in right now, you have access to my videos. So thank you for sharing with me. On Sundays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time on the Earl Purdy page, I have another Course in Miracles Facebook Live every Sunday, 1 p.m. Mountain Time on the Earl Purdy page. And then Thursday nights, it's where we are right now, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, we do hardcore A Course in Miracles because I love the Course in Miracles and the book is awesome. But you don't hear the book a lot. You hear people's opinions about what it's saying, but rarely do you actually go through the course book together and what it's saying. And I love it that you are willing to do that with me. I friggin' love it. So we're going to do a review right now. Don't forget to sign up for my contact list and share this video. Please share this video and watch it or listen to it at least how many times? Who knows? 4 times. 4 is the number of foundation. You hear what I'm saying? The Course in Miracles, the power of it comes through remembering it, hearing it, and learning it. And we are talking about insistence and investment. How do you invest in love? How do you invest in the truth? So let's do a quick review. Here we go. Take a ride with me. So how do you teach? How do you teach the poor where their treasure is? How do you teach people who are angry, in fear, full of guilt and grievances and lack? How do you teach them? How do you teach them where their treasure is? Well, you have to have no investment. You must have no investment in the ego. You must have no investment in anything in this world. Don't have any investment in anything in the false perception. When I say the world, I'm talking about false, fearful perception. Don't have any more investment in making yourself afraid. Don't have any more investment in making yourself feel guilty and afraid. If you don't want to be poor, stop investing in anger and attack. If you want to be rich, when I say rich, if you want to be loving, if you want to know your peace, if you want to know your freedom, if you want to know your abundance, if you want to know your health, if you want to know your wealth, if you want to know your peace, if you want to know your God. When you feel that peace, when you feel that love, that is what being rich is. Being rich is knowing that you are loved and lovable and loved and lovable, loved, loving and lovable, knowing who you really are, knowing how free you really are. That is wealth. And since you are among people who don't know that they're rich because they think that they are not enough or feel anger, guilt, and grievances, consider how much you would learn your lesson of how wealthy and rich you are if you were unwilling. Be unwilling. Be unwilling. Do you know how to be unwilling? Do you know how to be unwilling? The way that you should be unwilling is unwilling to share other people's poverty. Be unwilling to share other people's grievances. Be unwilling to join other people in grievances and attack and anger. Poverty is lack, and you have one need. poverty is lack and you have one need, and that need is God, that need is love, that need is freedom, that need is peace. So if somebody insists on having you do something that you really don't want to do, and you believe your happiness lies in not doing it, and they believe that their happiness lies in you doing it, then what do? You got to ask yourself, I have this dilemma right now. Somebody wants me to do something that I don't want to do, and they think that their happiness depends on me doing it. I think my happiness depends on me not doing it. What is the first thing I should do? I should ask myself 2 questions. I'm in this situation. I need to ask myself 2 questions. I need to get clear about what I'm going to invest in. What are you going to invest in? Somebody wants you to do something that you don't really want to do. You believe your happiness lies in not doing it. They believe that their happiness lies in you doing it. So what do? Well, what are you going to insist on? Because insistence means investment. So what are you going to insist on? What is your notion of what would make you happy? So the first thing you do, you ask yourself, what is my notion of happiness? What is it that I think is going to bring me peace right now? What is my notion of salvation? What is it that I want to save? What is it that I need to save? I'm in this situation where somebody's trying to get me to do something that they want me to do because they think it's going to make them happy, even though I don't want to do it, because I think my happiness lies in not doing it. What do? Which is the same as saying, what am I going to invest in? So remember what the Course says. The question is always twofold. First, what is to be saved? The Course in Miracles, says what is supposed to be saved is your peace, your sanity. That's peace. What is it you're going to save? You want to save your peace. So in this situation, you want to get clear. What is it that I want to save in this situation? And what's the second question you should ask yourself? If you're being presented with something that you don't want to do, but somebody wants you to do it because they think it's going to make them happy, and you believe that your happiness depends on not doing it. What is it that you need to do? You need to go, okay, what is it that I want to save? What is important to me to save? What's most important to me? What do I want to save? What do I want to save? What is to be saved? 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 My peace is to be saved. Peace is to be saved. My total fulfillment is to be saved. My sanity is to be saved. Love is to be saved. Freedom is to be saved. So I need to ask myself, what is to be saved? My peace is to be saved. So how can I save my peace? How can I save my peace? How can I save my joy? How can I save my joy? How can you save your peace? How can you save your joy? How can you save it? Well, it said earlier, what did it say? It said, insistence means investment. Insistence means investment. What you insist on is what you are investing in. So are you going to invest in your peace? Are you going to invest in conflict? Are you going to invest in innocence? Are you going to invest in guilt? Are you going to invest in your freedom? Or are you going to invest in bondage? Are you going to invest in lack? Or are you going to invest in poverty? Are you going to invest in God? Or are you going to invest in the ego? Are you going to invest in God? Or are you going to invest in the ego? Are you going to invest in love? Or are you going to invest in fear? So in this situation that's coming up, that the person wants you to do something that they think was going to make them happy, but it's something that you don't want to do. You believe your peace, your salvation lies in not doing it. What do you want to save? I want to save my peace. I want to invest in my peace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use peace to save my peace. I'm going to use peace to save my peace. I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to do. I'm going to do what gives me peace. I'm going to do what gives me peace. I'm going to only do what gives me peace. I'm going to do what gives me peace, because that's how I save my peace. You're going to save peace through peace. You're going to save peace through being peaceful. You're going to save your peace. So what do? You invest in your peace, and you invest in your love. You invest in peace, and you invest in joy. So in that situation, say to yourself, what is to be saved? What's to be saved is my peace in this situation. In this situation that's coming up right now, where somebody wants me to do something that they think is going to make them happy and bring them peace, but it's not what I want to do. And I believe that my peace and happiness comes from not doing it. So what do I need to do? I need to get clear about what I'm going to invest. I need to get clear about what I'm going to invest in. I'm going to invest in my happiness. I'm going to invest in my peace. And I'm going to invest in it, and I'm going to save it through being peaceful. I'm going to save it through being tuned into the truth. I'm going to save my peace by being completely, totally, and completely invested in peace and what's going to give me the most peace. So I want you to listen to this over and over and over and over, because when you listen to it, that's how you learn it. So I want you to ask yourself, do you want to be poor, or do you want to be rich? Rich, as the Course in Miracles defines rich. That means that you are a happy person, you are a peaceful person, you are a free person, you are a giving person, you are a connecting person, you are a loved and loving person, you are a fun person, you are a helpful person, you are a supported person. That's a rich person. That's a rich person. So what are you going to invest in? What are you going to insist on in your life? Mighty Companion, I always listen back to this immediately after the class so I can learn my lesson. And I always look at your comments, and I'm glad that you take the time to show up live as well as watch the replay, because it's through repetition that you change your mind. And I want you to be rich. I love you. I appreciate you. May the Course be with you.